Welcome everybody back to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 2022 Fast and Furious Flipkart 2.0. So this now has 1,331 horsepower, 1,378 pounds-feet of torque from its 8.2 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. The car itself now weighs 3,969 pounds. It now has off-road tyres, 6-wheel drive and off-road suspension, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 2.93 seconds, 0 to 105.807 seconds, and going to a top speed of 196 miles an hour. So yeah, this is a lot more powerful than it was originally. We've got more than 600 extra horsepower and around 600 extra pounds-feet of torque, while we are quicker in terms of acceleration and top speed, while also being lighter. But that is all for nothing, given that this is obviously an extremely long car, and yeah, we've never had a 6-wheel drive car in this kind of configuration. The only other 6-wheel drive cars that we've had have been, 4 wheels at the back, 2 wheels at the front, whereas this is obviously the other way round. So yeah, it's all going to come down to whether or not it can turn properly, and that front end doesn't catch on anything untoward on the off-road course, because if it does, then this is going to be a real pain to drive. But otherwise, no idea what kind of time this is going to get. Never had a car like this before, so yeah, it could go either way, quite frankly, but I'm hoping it will at least be in an interesting manner, because there's nothing worse than a boring car on this series, because yeah, they may well be quick or whatnot, but it's not typically exciting or interesting. So yeah, as you can see, definitely a lot quicker than it was originally. Oh dear, yeah, there's very little in the way of feedback at times on the handling front there. Have to be very, very cautious. Right, okay. I've not driven this on this course since I built it. Did drive it around my off-road testing area, but that's a lot more mild than this course is, so yeah, the results of that were just to merely see that it actually, worked to some degree. Whereas here, yeah, it's a lot more punishing and a lot less predictable. For now we're doing okay, as long as we can get used to the fact that there seems to be a fair bit of delay in terms of turning the front end. Either because, the steering is obviously having to go through 2 axles rather than the usual 1, or because it has obviously a fair bit of weight up front with that massive flip ramp. Or it could also be because the tyres at the rear are absolutely gigantic. I have actually not even, increased the width of those. That's just the normal size they are. Only difference being that now off-road tyres instead of normal road tyres. And yeah, those massive tyres could be providing so much grip at the rear end that it's just struggling to let the front end turn around. So it does have moments of agility, no doubt about that, but then there's also moments of massive understeer. And again, you've got to realise that this was originally only rear-wheel drive, so there is power going through those front wheels that it was never meant for, which could be complicating matters. When those wheels are working properly, there is a real good amount of turning, decent amount of grip. It's just all about trying to make them work for you rather than against you. At least we can pretty much guarantee we're not going to oversteer. Probably jinxed it now. Nowhere near as sluggish as it was originally, but it's not the quickest of things in a short space of time. It does take quite a while to gain speed. Even though it's got good acceleration, beyond that it is a little bit on the slower side of things. But it's not been quite as much of a pain as I imagined it might be. You look at it and you think, oh, that's never going to work at all, and yet, for the most part, outside of some understeer and that initial moment where we were just getting used to the handling, it's actually been fairly decent. It's not going to be as fast as the Lincoln Continental though in the previous episode, which was surprisingly quick. But we're by no means the slowest car given the the insane layout of this car. So yeah, 3 minutes 24.699 seconds means, yeah, we aren't close to the bottom by any means. We are still within the top 90, for instance, and we beat more normal vehicles like the MG MG3, the Chevrolet K10 Custom, the Audi RS6 Avant, the GMC Jimmy, the Renault Megane RS250, the Dodge Magnum SRT8, and off-road vehicles like the Subaru Brat GL, Sierra Cars 700R, Ford Bronco Raptor, the Subaru Legacy RS, Polaris Razor, Hennessy Velociraptor 6x6, or at least quicker than another 6x6 vehicle. Not sure where the Mercedes came in that regard. Let's have a quick look. The Mercedes was actually slightly quicker than us by just over a second, so yeah, we're not the quickest of the six-wheeled vehicles that we've had, but neither are we the slowest, so mid-table in terms of that regard. But yeah, the fact that we're quicker than some more ordinary vehicles, some off-road vehicles as well, is reasonably impressive on this car's part. But yeah, it's by no means an easy car to get used to. It does take a little bit of getting used to the fact that the steering up front, when you've got it in this configuration, in standard form it's a little bit better, but with all-wheel drive and all of that power going through those wheels, it is a little bit of an understeering mess at times, especially with all of that weight going over the front wheels as well. So yeah, but nowhere near as bad as you might expect it to be honest. And yeah, it's a good start to the Fast and Furious cars that are going to be on this series. So let's see what the next four can do in future episodes. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.